We still have
Weatherscope.
Well, it's not the best of mornings for New England, as you can see in this live shot from Natick, Massachusetts. The roads are slick and could be a little hazardous for the commute across much of the Northeast today, thanks to a widespread rainy system. Good morning and welcome to Weatherscope. I'm Bruce Edwards. Now we have the latest on what's been a damaging storm system as it's traveled north, including a live report on what to expect in the Boston area for the rest of the day. And for all that, we go to Cheryl Lemke in the Weather Channel Forecast Center. Cheryl?
Thanks, Bruce, and good morning. Yes, the morning commute will be a difficult one across the Northeast as some heavy rains have swept across the area, easily dumping close to an inch of rain around New York City this morning, and then even heavier amounts of rain have fallen around Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and for many areas it is still very wet and very slippery this morning. Well, the latest satellite pictures showing us our storm system that continues to swirl and twirl. It's coming out of the Ohio Valley and lifting across the Northeast. And we are seeing some brighter shades of white, indicating some enhanced precipitation that's taking place over southern New England. We've had some heavier rains, but also some embedded thunderstorms working across New England. Now, we've had a few thunderstorms, too, cropping up near Williamsport, Pennsylvania, but now most of the activity continues over southern New England and stretching over towards the Cape Cod area. And again, these showers and storms have been dropping locally heavy rainfall. So for much of the Northeast, a very tough morning commute. And to get a better perspective of how bad the weather's been, let's go now to Jim Cantore, who's been tracking the storm from Natick, Massachusetts. Good morning, Jim. What's the latest?
Well, good morning, Cheryl. We're standing on Route 9 as the rush hour is well underway here in Boston. This is Route 9, by the way, heading east into Boston, usually about a 30-minute drive here from Natick, but probably a little slower this morning on the tune of about 45 minutes to an hour. We just spoke with the Framingham police, and they said, hey, we don't have any problems this morning to report of. The roads are wet, and they obviously urge you to slow it down and take it easy as a result of that. But there really haven't been too many problems with the results of the rain so far, even though it has been heavy overnight, and there'll probably be some ponding on the roads in places. Now, the airport we also talked to, and they're fine this morning. No delays thus far. We've actually seen the ceiling come up a little bit in the last hour or so, so that's been good news. In all honesty, Cheryl, the hardest thing for me this morning is the fact that probably about 200 yards away, we have a Dunkin' Donuts shop, and the smell of the aroma of donuts fills the air here this morning. And it's been a little tempting, but I've held off. Back to you.
Just the talk of donuts, I'm getting hungry now. Thanks a lot, Jim. We appreciate the update. We'll be checking back with Jim a little bit later on this morning. But the scenes that we just saw from Massachusetts is very representative of much of the Northeast this morning. Now, the culprit behind all the wet weather is a low-pressure system that has been working its way from the Ohio Valley, but it will be tracking to the Northeast. What you don't see, though, is an upper level disturbance that has also been kind of pivoting its way up across New England, and that too has helped to enhance the precipitation. And again, we've had some locally heavy rains in some areas, and New York has been rather hard hit. We have pictures to show you that some people in the Northeast may be waking up to find out that they are without power this morning thanks to this storm system. An example is Wantagh on New York's Long Island. High winds brought down power lines overnight and helped topple tree lines weakened in rain-soft ground. Now, the crews have been working very hard to get power back online this morning. But it will be kind of a tough time for many of us as the roads remain very wet and very slippery across the Northeast. And again, we've talked about heavy rains. Some of the especially heavy rains have been occurring over central Pennsylvania, right around Williamsport. And still at this point, Union County, just south of Williamsport, remains under a flood warning. And there have been some reports of road closures due to the heavy rains that have been sweeping across the area. Right now, the worst activity, though, continues over southern New England. We've had the heavy downpours, some thunderstorms right now for Groton, Connecticut, Providence, Rhode Island, over towards Falmouth. Heavy soaking rains as well. A slow go this morning across the Massachusetts Turnpike. Around New York City, we had close to an inch of rain overnight. The worst appears to be over, but there's still some rain spreading across the area. Light rain and drizzle right now for JFK and LaGuardia. We pick up more rain, too, as we head over towards the Ohio Valley. What's unusual is that temperatures are rather mild this morning, upper 30s, 40s for most areas. So most of the precipitation has taken the form of rain as opposed to snow. But there will be some accumulating snows today, mainly confined to northern sections of Vermont, northern New Hampshire, and over towards western Maine, maybe upwards to 6 inches of snowfall by tonight. Winds, too, quite strong, still right around Cape Cod, around Hyannis, Nantucket, and Falmouth. Winds gusting between 40 and 45 miles per hour, and gale warnings have been posted across New England due to the stiff winds and more strong winds likely during the afternoon. And unfortunately, this storm system not moving very quickly. Still through tomorrow, we'll likely see some lingering rains across the area, so the evening rush hour is still pretty bad around the Boston metro area. Now, as always, if you're away from your TV set, but you have access to a computer, check out the Weather Channel's website at weather.com. Now let's check out the weather across the rest of the country, and with all the information, we go back to the studios and Bruce Edwards. Bruce?
All right, thank you very much, Cheryl. Well, let's continue with a look at the nation's weather. We look on the backside of this storm system in the upper Midwest, where we're seeing some precipitation, some cloud cover rotating around the low pressure area, as you can see. And once again, you can see cloud cover into Iowa and back up into the Dakotas. And there is some precipitation there wrapping around that low. Looking at snow really from Iowa down through Missouri, rain, widely scattered showers here. North of that is snow from around Sioux Falls back up into the Dakotas, but very